Suga's sad truth, crying face, broken heart. What he never said publicly. There are artists who shine, and then there are souls like Min Yoongi, known to the world as Suga, whose light seems effortless, but whose journey is carved from shadows, silent battles, and struggles that millions will never see. Behind the confident, composed exterior, behind the brilliant lyrics and flawless performances, lies a story of pain, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of purpose. Suga's story is one of heartbreak, loneliness, doubts, and triumph, an emotional journey that has shaped the man we see today. Born in Daegu, South Korea, Suga's childhood was far from easy. His family faced financial struggles, and Yoongi learned early what it meant to work hard and fight for dreams. Surrounded by modest means, he often felt the weight of responsibility, the pressure to succeed, and the constant need to prove his worth. Even as a young boy, he was sensitive, thoughtful, and deeply aware of the world's harsh realities, a trait that would later fuel his songwriting, yet also burden his young heart. He discovered music not just as entertainment, but as a lifeline. Rap, rhythm, and lyrics became tools for expression, a way to escape and process emotions too complex to share aloud. But even in music, he faced obstacles. For years he practiced alone, his tiny bedroom in Daegu often filled with beats, notebooks, and the quiet sighs of frustration. He wasn't naturally confident. He doubted himself, questioned his talent, and wondered whether he could ever truly belong on a stage, in front of a world that seemed so big, so impossible. At 16, Yoongi's life began to change. He auditioned for big hit entertainment, stepping into an unknown world that demanded more than skill. It demanded resilience, patience, and relentless dedication. He left the familiar streets of Daegu, leaving behind his family and childhood comforts, to train for years in Seoul. Every day brought physical exhaustion, criticism, and emotional strain. He watched talented trainees surpass him, felt the pangs of insecurity, and often questioned if he would ever be enough. The debut of BTS in 2013 was a turning point, but not without immense pressure. The group started from nothing, performing for small crowds, facing harsh critiques, and struggling to be noticed in a saturated K-pop industry. Yoongi, as a rapper and producer, often carried silent burdens. He wrote lyrics, produced tracks, and crafted the sound that would define BTS, all while battling exhaustion, self-doubt, and the fear of failure. Behind the microphone, he hid the nights he cried alone, the doubts he whispered to himself, and the deep weight of responsibility he carried not just for his own career, but for his fellow members. Through every struggle, music became both his weapon and his refuge. Suga poured his soul into lyrics that spoke to loneliness, pain, and resilience. Tracks like The Last and First Love revealed a vulnerability few fans recognized. In his words, listeners could feel the quiet struggles, the mental battles, and the emotional scars that had shaped him. His work became a mirror, reflecting the inner pain he carried silently. Even as BTS rose to global fame, the weight of expectations never lifted. Every award, every sold-out stadium, every accolade brought pressure to remain perfect. Yoongi often faced exhaustion, chronic pain, and the relentless anxiety of public life. Yet he rarely complained, masking his fatigue with calm confidence and professional composure. He became the quiet backbone of BTS, the member who often carried not only his own burdens but also the unspoken struggles of the team. The emotional turning points in Yoongi's life were often invisible to the public. There were moments of isolation, nights spent questioning his choices, and periods where self-doubt felt suffocating. Yet in these darkest moments, he discovered the strength that would define his career. He realized that vulnerability is not weakness, that admitting fear does not diminish courage, and that music has the power to heal both the creator and the listener. As he matured, Suga transformed his pain into purpose. He became an inspiring figure not because he avoided struggle, but because he survived it. His production work, solo projects like August D, and contributions to BTS's discography all carry honesty, authenticity, and emotion. In August D, he openly rapped about depression, anxiety, and the immense pressure of expectations, giving voice to struggles that many hide silently. Fans connected deeply because he dared to express what they also felt but could not say. Looking to the future, Yoongi continues to evolve. He dreams of expanding his artistry, mentoring others, and using music as a platform to share stories of resilience. He wants to explore production, writing, and collaboration beyond boundaries while continuing to inspire millions with both BTS and his solo work. Despite the hardships, he remains grounded, focused, and committed to his craft, carrying lessons from every moment of struggle as fuel for his next chapter. Suga's story is a reminder that even the brightest lights are forged in darkness. Behind every confident performance, every successful track, and every applause, there exists a story of tears, perseverance, and quiet battles. Min Yoongi's journey is about resilience, humanity, and the strength to carry on even when the world feels impossibly heavy. He teaches that true success is not the absence of pain, but the courage to rise each time you fall, to turn heartbreak into art, and to share your truth when no one asks. Today, Suga stands as both a global superstar and a deeply human soul, a man who has endured, who has fought silently, and who has transformed struggle into beauty. His journey continues, inspiring fans worldwide to embrace their own hardships and find strength in their vulnerabilities. Suga's sad truth is no longer hidden. It is a story of pain, healing, and hope, and one that reminds us all that courage is not the absence of struggle, but the persistence to rise and shine despite it.